get a close-up. Okay. Hey guys, so we're back with another finance video, guys, and today we're chilling on the couch because I think the last finance video I was on the floor, but today we're gonna chill on the couch today and get into some things. Now I got some water. You know, I'm trying to get the skin ready for the summer, so I got some water today. So I'm gonna take a little water break actually. All right, let's go. Okay, so today, guys, I want to talk about money, of course, right? Like, why would we not talk about money? But I also want to talk about mistakes I've made in my 20s when it comes to money. Whew. I actually have this written down, guys, because your girl was out here wilding. Okay, so I have it written down. So if you see me looking down, it's me making sure I got everything. We're gonna stick with 5 because, baby, this could be a forever video. So we're gonna stick to 5 things, right? And then I might actually add on 5 things that I also did that I'm happy about in my 20s, okay? So let's go. Okay, so the first thing, I had credit card debt from college. Like, once I graduated from college, your girl was swimming in debt. She was swimming in the credit card debt. And let me tell you why, okay? The reason why I had a lot of credit card debt at the college was because I am a first generation college grad. Like, no one in my family ever graduated from college before. Like, your girl is out here breaking generational curses. But in the process of me being a first generation college student, there was a lot of things that we weren't, when I say we, I mean my parents and I weren't prepared for financially when it came to college. So I had student loans. Yes, your girl got student loans. Biden delete them loans. But yeah, your girl got student loans. And I didn't have any money saved up for college, like squat, like none. And I remember there were times in college where my mom didn't pay rent. Like, she paid my tuition balance instead of paying rent one time. And there was times where I wasn't on a meal plan anymore because I think it was more expensive. You have to be, where I went to school, you had to be on a meal plan your first year, and then you didn't have to be on your meal plan anymore. So after my freshman year, I moved off campus, and I was just like, I'm not getting a meal plan. I'm just gonna buy groceries, and that's what I was doing. And I would probably spend about $150 a month on groceries. And let me tell you, your girl had a job. Like, I had a job. Like, I didn't play that. So I had a job, and I had internships. I had jobs in a nonprofit. I was doing some things, okay? But the money wasn't enough. So there was times where I just had to put on my credit card, like, you know, or there was times where it was, okay, I gotta buy books. What? I gotta buy books. Financial aid come, and you know, it's time to check your financial aid of how much you got. I'm checking it, and it's not enough. Or I remember one time where they said I tapped out of my financial aid, and I was just like, what do you mean I tapped out? How am I supposed to finish? Like, what are you talking about? I was mind blown by that. So there was times where, and I'll never forget that, guys, when I got that phone call and they told me that I tapped out of my financial aid, guys, I was literally at an internship. It was in the summer, I want to say my sophomore year or junior year, one of those, but it was in the summer. I was at my internship, and guys, it was a non-paid internship at that. However, like I said, your girl was figuring it out. She had a job too. So I would go to my job after that internship. So I was just thinking, like, oh my gosh, like in the fall, like, what am I going to do? Like, I might not be able to finish my degree. Like, what am I going to do? And then, I mean, the solution for a lot of things was just credit cards. Like, okay, just use your credit card. Like, we'll just worry about paying it off later, because I just had a tunnel vision of, like, I'm gonna get a job at the college. Like, I know I am. Like I just know. Like, I know I'm not coming back to Philadelphia. Guys, I'm from Philly if you ain't know. But I'm not coming back to Philadelphia to be working, like, a job that I didn't have to go to school for. Like I just knew that, like I was determined, I was motivated. So, and I was working so hard and doing, oh, that's all on my face, doing whatever that needed to be done to make sure that that did not happen for me. So I knew I was gonna get a job. I didn't have a choice. So I just was like, we'll worry about that when I got the job. Like, forget it. Like, I'm worried about that later. But for now, I need to finish this degree. So that's the reason why I have it. I had a lot of credit card debt. In addition to that, guys, I did not have my license until the last year of my college experience. It was then I got my license. And no one was trying to like teach me how to drive. Like I think everybody was just over it. Like, girl, you should have did this in high school type of thing. So I had to invest in myself and pay for my own driver's lessons, guys. They were really expensive driving lessons, mind you. So I had to pay for these driving lessons. I spent a lot of money to learn how to drive. So I had to pay for that. That went on a credit card. Like, who was paying for that? That went on a credit card. And guys, when I tell you I spent a lot of money, like, it wasn't $100. It wasn't $200, and it wasn't $300. So yeah, I had to pay for that. I remember putting that on my card, and I was just like, I just gotta figure out later. Groceries, books, yeah, basically that's it. Kind of, I wasn't really a big shopper in college, so I didn't really, so that's mainly what it was. So credit card debt after college. Second thing was the lack of financial literacy. Yeah, the lack of financial literacy. Okay, so, or not educating myself. Okay, so, because I'm an adult, so at a certain point you got to start educating yourself. So yeah, that's my second mistake in my early 20s was not fully understanding financial literacy to the point where I didn't understand investing. So when I was in college, right, guys, mind you, I'm a finance and accounting major in college, right? You would think that that doesn't happen. For whatever reason, it's not really as practical unless you put yourself, like you throw yourself into it, I guess, in a sense, or you explore that world a little bit more. But so yeah, so I was in college and I remember buying stock for the first time in college, and I only bought like one share, guys. I didn't even buy that much. I just bought one because we were talking about it. I was actually a part of I forgot what it's called, but we had a organization on campus for the business college, and our job was to basically use money funded by the freaking college or university, funded by the university, and buy stock. So I got curious and I was just like, wait a minute, like, what? We're helping making the school make how much money? So I like bought one share of something, and I don't know why I only bought one, but I only bought one share of something. And then I signed up I had like a job. Like I said, your girl was working. Like, she was hustling and figuring it out. I had multiple jobs on campus, multiple internships. Like, I was that girl. But I did have a job with Airmark. I don't know if you guys know Airmark, but I had a job with Airmark where I was a food worker. So like I would make like the food for the students on campus. And then I eventually made it to a student manager. And with that job, I remember seeing that I qualified for a 401k plan. So I called my mom and I was like, Mom, hey, like they say I qualify for a 401k plan or whatever. She was like, oh, you should look into it. So I looked into it and I got into it, and I was literally like investing some of my paychecks into that 401k. Your girl was going to big, my little paychecks. But anyway, so I was investing the money, and I mean, that was a start, but like, I didn't really know what I was doing. Like, I didn't really know, like, the depth of the 401k and retirement plan. I didn't really know, like, so that's that. And I kind of wish that, looking back, that I kind of explored that a little bit more, especially being a finance and accounting major. Like, I don't know why I never really questioned my own self when it came to personal finances. I don't know why. I think I was just solely just focused on passing these classes and getting a job so I can, do what I gotta do. Like, I think that was just like my sole focus. Like, when I tell you tunnel vision, guys, I got some stories. We talked about this one. Number 3 is loans. Woo. Yeah. The student loans. So looking back at that, let's take some steps back, because if I would have never gotten my student loans, fortunately enough, okay, I feel like I was, and I'm so grateful, guys, like I can get super emotional about this because I know that my life could be completely different. So, but I was lucky enough to be one of the individuals from Philly, from the hood, guys. I was lucky enough to be one of those individuals that come from the hood, go to college, and kind of make something from herself with her degree. That's not common. A lot of people either drop out of college, you know, or they go to college and they get a degree and they can't find work or a career, or can't start their career in their degree that they paid for. So I was one of the lucky ones because I was able to. I was able to since while I was still in school, guys. Like I started my full-time job. No, I got the offer for my full-time job during my senior year. Like I already had a job. I want to say the fall of senior year. So like senior year, I was just excited. Like I was just happy. So, I was just excited, and some fact that like, oh my gosh, like my hard work is paying off. Like I got an offer. So yeah, so when I look back, it's like, I don't know, because I mean, y'all, I love my life. Like I truly love my life. I truly enjoy what I do. And I know most finance and accounting people are probably going to be like, what is she talking about? But I actually enjoy doing finance and accounting, guys. That's why I created AB Finance, to kind of teach people about accounting and finance in a more like way that they can understand, where it can be a little bit more fun, you know, simple. But I truly enjoy doing accounting and finance, and I was able to like move to different cities and like, you know, travel and see all these things and meet all these different people and change my perspective on life and how I view things. And like, I really think if I didn't agree to these student loans, I don't think I would have, I don't think I would have had all of the experiences. Like, I don't think I would have been able to travel and live in these different cities and meet these people. Like, so it's a type of thing. So I don't know. Sometimes I go back and forth with that. People ask me all the time, like, if you could go back, would you like do college again? Or do you regret getting your student loans? Or, you know, blasey. But I will say this, because I was a first generation college student, my main focus was trying to get less loans as possible, but for my experience to be comfortable. So I went to so many schools. Like I went to so many schools, visited, seen them and everything. And on my list, automatic out of state was a no for me. Like if I couldn't get a full ride, or if I can't get a full ride, off the list, because who's paying for out of state tuition? I knew it would cost more. We're not paying for that over here. We don't have that. So I knew off the bat, girl, off the list. Now, in-state PA schools we're looking at, more than likely the state schools are going to be cheaper, so you're going to look at those state schools, girl. So that's what we were doing. And I went to like, there's like 13 I think of them. We went to like majority of them to visit, and a lot of them were like really outdated and old looking, and I was just like, I'm not about to sign $1,000 of like loans to these outdated places. So the place I ended up picking was more updated. It was like a hotel, looked like a suite and everything. So I was like, like we're gonna go there. I don't care how far it was. It was like 5 hours away. So I went there. And I went there, but I did have a full ride closer to home. But I don't think my experience would have been the way it would have been. And I don't think after college would be the way it is now. And I say that because I don't think they have a lot of resources. And I think me leaving home was a good thing for me. Like I needed it. It helped me grow up. So I don't know, guys. All that to say, I don't know. Okay, number 4, not budgeting, saving, and investing enough. Again, guys, so budget who? Who is budgeting in college, guys? Not I'm not budgeting in college. So, and I'm definitely not saving in college, okay? And I was lucky to even get the 401k, guys, and buy that 1 share to even invest in college, okay? Because outside of that, your girl wasn't doing none of that. So looking back, I really do wish I would have budgeted. Like, even if it was just like it wasn't as serious, but like it was like I was just doing it, I would have been happy about that. What I could have budgeted, I could have definitely budgeted my groceries every month. But back then I used to just I want it, I'm putting it in the cart and don't even look at the prices. I just put it in the cart. Guys. Oh my gosh. Then act shocked at the register and be like, what? I'm at that amount? So I wish I would have budgeted more. In terms of saving, I've never saved in college, ever. I mean, I barely had any money to save. So next on the list, number 5 is never setting financial goals and tracking them. Guys, not only was your girl not budgeting, saving, or investing really, but your girl wasn't even setting financial goals. Like, so looking back, I definitely should have set financial goals, especially if like I was motivated and knew that I was gonna get a job after college. I should have set financial goals in terms of what I wanted my finances to be after college, and I didn't do that. After college, I still wasn't doing it. It took me to kind of fall and get back up to kind of adjust what I was doing wrong and to correct it after a while. But as far as setting financial goals, when I say financial goals, I'm talking about like asking myself, like, okay, what do you want financially? Like, what do you want that to look like? Like, what part of your finance you want to improve? What part, like, what are your mistakes? Like, how do you plan to achieve that goal that you want? Or how do you plan on or getting out of a financial mistake that you made? Like, in that aspect, and like talking to myself and holding myself accountable and saying, you know, okay, so what are you doing that's holding you back to getting to that goal? Like, girl, like, what are the hurdles and what's your plan to get over those hurdles? So then when I am facing that hurdle, I got that goal in my mind, I know the steps it takes for me to get to that goal. And when I'm facing that hurdle that I identified early on, I already know what I'm going to do because I already wrote down the steps I'm going to take. You know what I'm saying? So your girl wasn't even thinking like that. I wasn't thinking like that. I was just so happy to have a paycheck, okay? So in college, your girl definitely wasn't thinking like that. She was too busy trying to do what she got to do to get a job. So looking back, I kind of wish I went down that path and was a little bit more curious about what my finances or my financial goals could look like in a few years. And then on top of that, tracking them, like, and when I say tracking them, I mean, I didn't have much money in college, but I still could have set some type of goals and tracking. Because here's the thing, although I didn't have that much money in college, I could have been changing my behavior and then tracking my behavior so that by the time I graduated college and got into my paying job, my behavior has been adjusted. Like, you know, I'm familiar with budgeting, I'm familiar with saving, I'm familiar with investing more often and tracking my goals and setting goals and writing down my hurdles. You know, it would have been natural for me to do that at that point. So that was my 5. So credit debt after college, lack of financial literacy, skills and knowledge, student loans, not budgeting, saving, investing, and not setting financial goals and tracking them. So that was my 5 financial mistakes I made in my 20s. Then let's talk about the things that your girl did good. So you know what? Let's pat myself on the back because I did that. I did that. Most people in their 20s ain't even worried about that, especially in college. But your girl figured it out. So first thing I did, and still I don't think most people know this, but I'm gonna let the YouTube know, your girl ain't got no car note. And I am proud of it. So you know what? Let's clap for that one. I never had a car note, guys. Ever. And I must say, out of all things that I have done, I think that was the smartest financial decision I have ever made. Oh my goodness. If you know, you know. Because whew, cars do not appreciate, they depreciate, which is technically a waste of money. Now, don't get me wrong, okay? If I had a kid, I don't have any kids. If I had a kid, I would definitely go get a car, because at this point, like, I have a kid, I have to be, you know, transportation has to be dependable. Something happens to my kid, I gotta be able to just go, you know. But your girl is kid free, so guess what? She's not getting a car anytime soon. Yeah, I love it. I love it. So that's 1. 2 is, we already talked about that, not having kids early on in my 20s. So another huge accomplishment for myself. And I'm only saying that because I'm not saying if, you know, if you have kids, that's not, you know, that's not a good thing. It's just for me and my financial situation, it would have held me back, especially because I have a career where early on I was traveling. I was literally moving to different cities between West Coast and East Coast every year. Like, I would live in that city for 1 year. How was I gonna do that with a baby? Girl, so yeah, I'm proud that I did that, and it definitely would have helped me back from doing other things that I wanted to do in my 20s, which was traveling. Like, I don't think I would have been able to travel as much, you know, or spend money on luxurious things and explore life a little differently. So I'm proud of myself for that one. 3 was not signing on more than what I can afford. Example, apartment. So let's talk about that. So I still have an apartment. I'm a huge advocate for apartments. I'm sorry. As a financial accounting person, I understand why people push buying and mortgages. I understand that, you know, coming from the financial accounting aspect. But I think we should also be pushing apartments before mortgages. Like, everybody's not in a situation to be getting a mortgage out here. So yeah, when I say that, I mean every apartment I ever had. And this is a fact. I lived in all these different cities too, guys. I lived in Arizona. I lived in the, for college, the Pittsburgh area. So that's 2 cities. I lived in Connecticut. I live in Virginia and Philadelphia. So that's 5 cities in total. I've never, well, yeah, that's 5 places. That's 5 places in total. Virginia's not a city. 5 places in total. I never paid more than $1,000 for my apartment, okay? And I just refuse to pay that much, especially nowadays. I just feel like the apartments that they provide or offer does not equivalent to the price tag. Like, I just feel like no one should be paying over $1,000 for an apartment that doesn't have stainless steel. Like, what? That doesn't even make sense. So yeah, I think I did an amazing job with only finding apartments that were $1,000 or less in every single place I lived in. Like, never paid more than that. I also did an amazing job with trying to find apartments that may include utilities, so that I didn't have to worry about that. So I've done really good with that. So let's clap and pat myself on the back, because that's not normal. That's not common these days, okay? And trust me, I've been like apartment searching now because I kind of want to move into a bigger apartment, but baby, I'm not paying what these prices. So number 4 was, and we talked about this too, was having a 401k or starting my 401k early in college. I'm so proud of myself for that. Like, although it wasn't a lot of money, but I already knew what a 401k was by the time it was time for me to sign the offer for my first job. Like, I was already ahead of the game. Like, you get what I'm saying? So I already knew what to do and everything. I understood it. Like, some people have 401ks and they don't even understand it. Your girl understood it. So I was, you know, I was out there. Then number 5 is having a Roth IRA. And that's another thing as well. Earlier on my 20s after college, I signed up for a Roth IRA, and guys, I talked about that in my last video. And yeah, if you don't have a Roth IRA, you better go get one. Especially if you're a business owner, go get a Roth IRA today. Go Google Roth IRA and go sign up now. Pause my video, like it, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and then go over there and search Roth IRA and sign up, y'all. Okay, so that was my 5. So my 5 things I am proud of that I did financially in my 20s was no car note, no kids, never signed more than what I can afford, especially for an apartment, having a 401k, and having a Roth IRA. So I didn't do too bad, guys. You know, we got our bad things, we got our good things. The pros and the cons. There's always going to be a pro and a con to situations, but I am not mad at myself for the decisions I did make. The bad things were life lessons, and I'm happy I went through it because I learned from it. And the good things were high achievements that I'm super proud of, that I honestly didn't even think that I would even accomplish at this point. So it's a win-win. So that was the end of my video, guys. I hope you guys learned something from the mistakes I've made and the accomplishments that I achieved. And if you haven't already, again, go like and subscribe because we got more coming, and I'm super excited to share it with y'all. All right, well, see you in my next upload, guys. Bye.
I want you to